Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our virtual cultural exchange between Morocco and Gibraltar. This event is organized jointly by the Gibraltar-Morocco Business Association, of which Mr. Clive Reid is the president, and Straits of Gibraltar Association, of which Mr. Brahim Krikas is president. I am Henry Sacramento, your host this evening. Today, we feature a well-known business lady. But before I introduce her, let us see some footage of the work she has done so far.
Are you all my personal dreams? Everything you know is in your mind. Are you all my personal dreams?
I have to credit the gentleman that edited that video, young man Abdelhani Kukus. Thank you very much. And of course, thank Mohammed, our technician, who managed to clear up a little technical setback. Remind our guests this evening, our viewers, that they will be able to put questions to our guests this evening. And of course, feel free to like our page, comment, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and comment as well. Let me introduce our guests. Ayelet Mamo Shay, a businesswoman, journalist, and professional researcher of small Jewish communities around the world, moved with her husband and children to Gibraltar from Israel following a job offer. Since arriving in Gibraltar, Ayelet has felt that she has been cheating on her country by falling in love with the other country that has welcomed her so warmly, Gibraltar. Despite the challenges and dilemmas of moving to a new country, Ayelet has embraced the opportunities offered by the relocation to become a good ambassador for both her native Israel and Gibraltar. This life-changing experience has given Ayelet the inspiration to write her book, Relocation, Darling Relocation, a realistic, humorous, emotional novel about the hottest and most charged topic in modern society today, one that touches many families across the world. Relocation to another country in pursuit of a promising career. Relocation, Darling Relocation was originally published in 2015 in Hebrew and has proven very popular amongst the Israeli expat community worldwide. In 2017, the book was translated to English and since then become a must-read for anyone who is planning to do a relocation, is currently on relocation, or has returned from a relocation assignment. Ayelet is the co-founder and director of Benefit Business Solutions Limited, a Gibraltar-based business consultancy firm. She also serves as a chairwoman of the Gibraltar Israeli Chamber of Commerce, actively working to strengthen the business relations between the two countries and promoting business opportunities across the two ends of the Mediterranean. Gibraltar, with its small but thriving Jewish community, has also given Ayelet the inspiration to do her PhD research on small Jewish communities, that is, under 1,000 people, around the world. As part of this research, Ayelet visits small Jewish communities around the world, interviews community leaders and other key individuals, and writes reports and articles which have been published in numerous publications and magazines around the world. Good evening and welcome, Ayelet, Mamo, Shay.
Good evening, Henry. How are you? Thank you so
I'm
much for
good. How are
having me.
you? What a
Very good
pleasure.
indeed.
What a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
Share with us how and why your interest in small Jewish communities.
Wow, that is a very good question to start with, I have to say. So let's start with that, the fact that I love history very much. I'm Jewish and I love actually traveling. So I've been thinking, I love study so much, but at the end of the day, I have to study something that I really, really love. And if I join the three things, the three love that I love to do so much, that is a perfect combination, I think. So as you said, and you mentioned, I travel around the world, part of my business and part of the chamber. And on the way, I actually meet with a lot of Jewish leaders around the world from different communities. I interview them and I actually write about these interviews. And I just published the article later on in different magazine and different newspaper. And I have to say that the inspiration, as you mentioned, came from the beautiful Jewish community of Gibraltar. It's very interesting to see such an amazing community that exists for the last 300 years. And they are strong, they are amazing people, they are very warm and great to be with. And that actually gave me the inspiration just to discover a bit more about the history of the Jewish people around the world. And the good thing is, by doing that, I'm actually collecting so much details and information. And I think that will be really, really amazing and important for the next year to come, for the next generation. So this is my time and my moment really to take part of my of the Judaism, of my religion as well. Even though I'm not religious, but I think it is very, very important for me, the Jewish religion, the culture, the tradition, and I'm trying really to keep it up, and not just for me, for my kids and for my grandchildren as well.
Congratulations for everything that you do. And we are so blessed in Gibraltar in so many ways. We have an amazing, loving Jewish community. But tell me, what have you found in your research that all these small Jewish communities have in common, if anything at all?
So to be honest with you, I think the key so far, I've been traveling so much. On my list there is 72 Jewish communities to visit. I did already around 40. And to be honest with you, and if you believe me or not, but I think the most important key is actually to be orthodox, to be religious, to believe to have all the facilities to maintain the community. So I think this is really one of the keys for sustainable community. And if they don't have, just for example, in Palma de Mallorca and in different places, so it's actually make me a bit sad to say that I really don't think that they will survive for many, many years. That's the truth. but I think they have to be religious and to maintain all the facilities. So yeah,
Absolutely.
so far this is my conclusion.
And do you see yourself writing a book with all the information that you've collated and gathered?
You know, funny enough, Henry, I always said that my first book will be about the Jewish communities around the world. But something happened, as you know, and I published a different book as my first book, which we'll talk about it later on.
Yeah.
But so far, I didn't publish it yet about the small Jewish communities around the world. But definitely, this is actually on
It's on the pipeline.
On my dream list. It will happen, I promise, but not now. Not now.
Ayelet, early beginnings. What was it like growing up in Israel?
Wow. So I was born 42 years ago in a very small town that's called Tzfat. Very nice. Everybody know each other. I think it's really remind me very much Morocco, and that's why I love it so much to visit Morocco every time. Because the doors are open to everybody. My mom used to cook to everybody. Everybody that wants to eat, they come, they grab whatever they want, and they go. Very free house. It's not like today that, you know, it's different. You have to knock on the door. You have to get invitation to be with someone. So I was brought up like that. Very open house. Lots of happiness.
That is what Gibraltar was like in the 60s when I grew up.
I'm sure. But you know, I was brought up in a house that didn't have much money. We've been 5 children and we've been 4 siblings living in the same bedroom. So easy, it wasn't like that, but I'm telling you, lots of happiness. And I have such a happy moments that I remember from my childhood. And I'll tell you, I always said, I think I had the best childhood ever, to be honest with you. But having said that, I always felt when I grew up and I, you know, became a teenager, I felt a bit wasted in Tzfat. I felt that it's too small for me, that I can't really get advanced so quickly the way that I want. And I always had in my mind that I want to live. I would really want to live Tzfat. And fact, really, I left when I was 17 and a half. And I remember that everybody just opened the eyes. Oh my God, Ayelet, how dare you to leave, you know, it's far to London, big London, you know, you're so brave. I don't need to tell you, like 22 years ago or 24 years ago, what it's been like a small girl move into another country, different city, a big city like London. So a lot of eyes been open to me, but it's fine. And I always believe that I deserve something better and I deserve something different. And I want to achieve a lot of things. And I always said, like, I have a list of dreams and I have this list from my when I was 9 years old. And, you know, I always tick more and more and more. And yeah, I left when I was 17 and a half. And I'm happy to say that this day, I'm actually in a lot of contact with the people of Tzfat just to make Tzfat a bit better place to live in. But I don't live in Tzfat and I don't really think that I will be back there. But my family is there and they are in love with Tzfat. They're really, really happy. And I totally understand them.
You know, you've been telling me this and I've been picturing as a young child when I saw the musical Fiddler on the Roof, when one of the daughters was leaving. You know, I could just visualize that. I know it's got nothing to do with what you're saying, but that just came to me. Who has been your biggest inspiration?
Yeah, but that like that, yes. Wow, that is a really great question. You have an amazing question, I have to say, and we thank you so much for that. You know, funny enough, I remember, as I said, that we've been 4 siblings in the same bed, in the same room, really. And all of them, I remember, used to have posters of some celeb or some singers and things like that. And I never had, never. I never been fan of nobody. But I always loved politician. Politician always, I admire them. I think there is a lot of, you know, I study politics, let's put it that way. My master is in politics, in democracy, and I really, really love politics. So, but I think the one that inspired me the most is actually the 9th president of Israel, Shimon Peres, which passed away. But for me is a real inspiration. And if we actually compare it to Gibraltar, I always used to say that Solomon Levy, you know, that he passed away as well, sadly.
Yes.
For me, it was the Shimon Peres of Gibraltar, because it was special, and he used to be the friends of everybody, and everybody used to love him. So Shimon Peres and Solomon Levy for me are actually the same. So people that inspired me, sadly, both of them left us, but they left big, I think, even they actually left a big hole in our heart, but we still love them, and we still get a lot of inspiration from them. Both.
We still have the memories of them.
Exactly.
I have quite a few selfies with Solomon, Mommy, as he was known to all those who
You're
loved
right.
him,
Yeah,
because he
you're
was always immaculately dressed. And I remember one national day where I had this red suit made in China, and I bought this red bowler hat in London. And as you know, Mommy wore bowler hats, and he had bowler hats in every color, but he didn't have one in red, you know. And that day, you know, he was wearing a baseball cap when I was also immaculately dressed in a red suit and my red bowler hat. And he said, te la tengo que dar. You've won me this time, he said. See,
It was amazing, and it was special. And I have to say that Shimon Peres, is a great legend, and we still have, we have a big technology center that's called the Peres Center, that everybody, all the tourists are going to Israel and visit there. So I always recommend to everybody to go there and to get a bit of inspiration from this amazing gentleman that gave me and to a lot of other people around the world a lot
did
of
you ever
inspiration.
meet him personally?
So sadly, no, I actually even invited him to come and visit us here in Gibraltar when he was president of Israel, but his schedule always been so full. So sadly, no. But I have to say, when I took the female business delegation to Israel with Minister Sacramento, I took them to Shimon Peres Center, and they invited us there, and they hosted us so well and so beautifully, and they took us actually to the special office of Shimon Peres, and we actually been sitting on his table, on his chair,
Wow.
next to his desk, and it was a very special experience, I think, for me and for the rest of the ladies that came with me to Israel.
Fantastic. I have to ask you, what has been your biggest achievement so far? And this is probably a difficult question, because from the little I know, you've done so much already. But if you had to choose one, which one would you say has been your biggest achievement so far?
Henry, I always said that I enjoy my journey. People say that I'm working really, really hard, but I really enjoy it. And I always said, as long as my smile stays on my face, I will do it forever and ever. If I will feel a bit tired, then I will just, relax and just take a step back and just relax a bit, try to relax a bit. But I think, achievement, it's very, very difficult for me to say something like that, because I don't see it as achievement. But I have to actually mention your guy that actually organized this video at the beginning. He got me really, really emotional. And I said that to him on WhatsApp. So well done for the great job that you did, because what he actually did, he pulled out all my pictures from Facebook, and he just organized a nice clip. And he puts me on a journey that I didn't even realize that I'm doing it, because I do it, I enjoy myself, and I don't realize what is actually achievement and what is not. So it's very, very difficult for me to say to you what is achievement for me. But I think for me to be a mom for three amazing people, this is three amazing kids, it's an amazing achievement. To do GCSEs and A level when my sister and my brother never did it, I've been the first one in the family to do so.
Wow.
So this is a great achievement for me. To have my mom on the ceremony of my first degree, and she never been in something like that, it's a great achievement for me. To do my master, and to do my PhD, and to set up Gibraltar, and to publish my book. So everything, I think it's achievement, but
The
it's
list is endless.
it's like little step, and I really, really
Yes.
enjoy to see it. So I think I don't have a moment to tell you,
You
wow,
can't
what
choose
an
one.
achievement.
Yeah.
And
And
if you
let
want
me
the
set the,
recent one, sorry, if you want just the recent one, I'll tell you just to get the Mayor Award that I got after 14 years here to be a foreigner in
congratulations.
Gibraltar. Thank you so much. To be a foreigner in Gibraltar, and after 14 years to get the Mayor Award from our previous Mayor, John Gonsalves, it was a really, really special moment for me. That I felt that I contribute in a way to Gibraltar, and the people of Gibraltar appreciate that as well. So this is achievement, recent achievement, yeah.
What I wanted to say was just to set the record straight. The person who researched all your photographs was Mohammed Imrani, our technician,
Well done,
who then
Muhammad, well
sent them
done.
to Abdelghani, who edited and put it all together.
So well done to
So, you know,
Muhammad and well done to
we
Abdelghani.
cannot allow Abdelghani to take the credit for everything because Mohammed was the one that did all the research.
Your team and you as well, and Stephen as well, you're all doing an amazing job. And I was really, really proud for all the process. So I really want that people understand, the people that watch us today, how much work you actually done behind the scenes just to make it happen. So don't think it's coming easily to them, because they're working really, really hard. And I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, we enjoy everything we do so much. We feel it's so important that we should do what we're doing to bring Morocco and Gibraltar closer together by having this cultural event.
You're doing
Okay,
an
we
amazing
have,
job.
our President Brahim Krika says, a big welcome to Ms. Ayelet. It is such a great pleasure to have you with us tonight. We all ready to learn from your fruitful experiences as hardworking woman who gave a lot to business solutions in order to get business men and women establishing highly efficient and high quality operations in an organization. Well, thank you very much,
Thank you
Brahim
so much,
Krikas, our
Graham.
president.
Thank you so much for your kind
Oh,
words.
and we have welcome, Ayelet. Always a pleasure to learn from Gibrel experiences through such a high, efficient, and professional director. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much. Thank you, thank you,
My,
thank
my
you.
next question has to be regarding your book. How did it come about to write a book about relocation and calling it Relocation, Darling? Is that directed at your husband?
I'll tell you a secret now, okay?
Okay,
Just
we
between me
won't
and
tell
you.
anybody.
Nobody here, okay? So,
Just between you and me.
exactly, that's what I said, just between me and you. So, basically, I did my first relocation when I was 17 and a half. I just mentioned it. So, when I left, I actually got a nice offer to go and to be a nanny part-time for a Jewish family in London. And I was really, really excited until I got the permission from my dad to do so. By the way, he came with me for 1 week just to make sure that his daughter, she's okay, and like nothing has
Wow.
happened to her. So it was very, very nice of him. But nobody really helped me when I did the relocation. Like, I needed to learn everything by myself. I really remember that I didn't speak English. So for me to give lectures and to become really international speaker, within the years, for me, it's a big,
Quite an achievement.
it is, and a big achievement, because I didn't speak. I did, like, I spoke like thank you and things like that, but no more than that. So, but nobody really helped me. The family was really, really nice, but I felt like I didn't have the right tool to do my relocation properly. And then after I got married to my husband, we lived in Israel for 7 years. And then he got the job offer to move to Gibraltar. And
So where
then,
did you actually meet your husband?
so, oh wow, you take me to so many questions that I need to answer them all. So I need to remember everything so you have to direct me about that. Okay. So I met my husband in a bus stop in London. So to all those that actually look at me now, go and find your love even on a bus stop, okay? It's possible. And I'm married
How
already for
romantic.
22 years. I met him in a bus stop. I came back to Israel after 6 months. So we went out for one year and a bit. And then we got married, and it's 22 years already. And what's happened is that when we got married, and that is an amazing story, we actually came to our honeymoon to south of Spain and Gibraltar. So I still have picture doing like that with my wedding ring. I remember, with all the monkeys. And after 7 years, when I got the offer to come to live in Gibraltar, part of my husband's job, I said to Iran, you know what, this is a sign from God. There is a reason why we need to go to Gibraltar. And I said, yes. I used to have a very good job in Israel. I used to be branch manager in the Postal Bank for 9 years. And I remember when I want to leave, my manager said, Ayelet, you're crazy. What are you living in such a government job with good pension and good money? You are not normal. And I said, no, darling, I'm normal. If my smile goes away from me, it means that I need to go to the next station. And that's what I did. And again, when we left to Gibraltar, nobody really helps us. Deloitte, my husband moved to Deloitte to work at Deloitte. He used to be the manager for the finance department here. They've been amazing to us. I can tell you that they've been the first family for us at the beginning when we came. But really, we didn't get like tools how to do the relocation. We did it everything by ourselves. So I just realized that it is very, very difficult to do relocation. It's a trauma for your body, for your soul. And if you don't have a good direction and good tools, it's very, very difficult to do so. And I've met with so many Israelis around the world. I have connection in over 50 countries around the world. So you can imagine how many people I interviewed before I actually published my book. And, you know, I just realized that all of them, we just create a special language of relocation. Really, we can understand each other because we relocate to different country. And you, Henry, you moved as well to another country and you live, you know, in Gibraltar, in another place. We spoke about it yesterday.
Yep.
When you move to a different country, you understand other people, you respect the religion, you respect the path that they choose to live in, you respect the culture, you understand differently to people that never relocated in their life. And I decided that I will be the angel, maybe in a way, to help people. So the relocation, Darling Relocation, is basically a novel about people that actually moved from their country and what they actually had to deal with.
Endure, to deal with the experiences. But how did the title come about? And
So
is the darling bit directed at your husband?
So the secret that I want to tell you and to share with you, first of all, I'll just say that Relocation, Darling Relocation is not just about my family and my experience. It's really about all the other people that I've met and did relocation. But when I met my husband and we started really dating, formally dating, we start calling to each other Diri and Darling. Diri and Darling. So one of us is Diri and the other one is Darling. And that's happened even in Israel before even we came to Gibraltar, which is Darling sounds a bit really not familiar to the Israeli people. And then I actually decided to use that this name.
So is he the darling and you're the dearie?
It depends. It's like one day I'm dearie, one day I'm darling. So it's really, really depends. But we are dearie and darling, and everybody knows us like a dearie, darling.
Does it depend on whether you're upset or mad at him?
No. If I upset and mad at him, I will call him Eran. This is his name. If he upset me, it will be actually his first name. But normally it's dearie and darling. So this
You're just like Priscilla. She only ever calls me Henry if she's upset with me. Otherwise, it's Precious.
You see, you are Precious and my husband is Darling. So we are in a good hands.
We have a question from Brahim Krikaz. My question to our dear guest Ayelet is, what do you think about the latest closeness between Morocco and Israel on several levels?
Brahim, let me tell you, first of all, that I'm so happy that it's happened. I think it's actually supposed to happen long time ago. But as we said, it's better late than never. So I actually been the first one to give my blessing on that. It's just fantastic. Henry knows and Stephen knows and Muhammad knows that I'm actually in love with your country. I just came back 2 weeks ago. And the people are amazing and it's great. So I really think, especially as the chairwoman of the Gibraltar-Israel Chamber of Commerce, is that triangle of Israel, Gibraltar, and Morocco can be amazing because Tangier, you have the free zone, let's put it that way. It actually can be the production place. Gibraltar can actually be the place that you set up your company here. and the Israeli can actually send you all the things that they need. So I really think it's a great triangle. And if all of us will make sure to make it happen and to make it work, it can work amazingly. So this is my opinion on that.
It's a win-win situation.
Totalmente, really, totally. You're totally
We just
right.
need the links back, as it were.
And listen, now we have the direct flight from Tel Aviv to Morocco, and now we actually can work as well on direct flight from Israel, Morocco, and then from Morocco to Gibraltar, and from Gibraltar to Israel. So I think if we use that advantage that we have in terms of location, we can do amazing things together. So we just need to push a lot, to do a lot of things with the government and without the government, but really just to look forward and to look to the future, and we can do amazing things.
See, the possibilities are endless. Absolutely.
Totally.
Okay. Stephen Marine, thank you for joining us. It's great having you in our cultural exchange. I would like to ask, how do you cope with everything you do? You must be very disciplined.
First of all, I have to say thank you to Stephen, because Stephen invited me first to this event. So thank you so much, Stephen. And you always make sure, I have to say, to update me with everything that's happened between in your organization between Morocco and Gibraltar. So well done for that. I studied my first degree and my master in the Open University, and I can tell you a secret. In Israel, if you're looking for a job and they know that you actually been studying the Open University, your chances to get the job are much, much higher than a normal person that been studying in the Hebrew University or Bar-Ilan University or other university. Because of the discipline. Yeah, I'm a very organized person, and I'm trying to do everything on the right way and in the right direction. I'm not perfect, but I think to do everything together, you have to work really, really, really hard. And sometimes you have to feel maybe that you sacrifice a lot from your private life and things like that. But as we said at the beginning, if you really enjoy what you're doing, I don't see it as a job, to be honest with you. And you know that I have many arts, but I don't really see it that way. I see it that I contribute to Gibraltar, I contribute to Israel. I'm a good ambassador for both of the places. I'm earning money as well on the way as a businesswoman, obviously. So this is really my business. Benefit Business Solution is my business. So I think when it's good for everybody, and you wake up in the morning and you're doing something that you love. So it's all about priority, what you prefer to do in your life. And if you want to do it, you can do it. And believe me, I'm doing it with 3 kids as well, which not make it easier for me. But thanks God, I always said that I'm getting the petrol and the energy for my kids, for my amazing 3 kids. And I always ask them, and I make sure, first of all, to give my time as well to them and to educate them the best that I can, really. And my son is 20, in the 2nd year already in uni, and he's doing so well. And now we realize that the way that we educated him gave him so much motivation and inspiration for the rest of his life. And I think it is really, really important to include your kids in everything that you're doing, to be open house to all of them, to explain them as well what you're doing and why you are doing it. And when they are involved, they give you a lot of energy and a lot of good feedback as well. And I remember one day we actually host the Israeli ambassador in the UK, Mark Regev, and the amount of emails that have been sent just about this topic and the security issue and all that, it was really, really difficult. And when he came, we had a lot of lunches and dinners and meetings and things like that. And I just felt that I wasn't enough at home for my kids. And then I came to my kids and I said, listen, I really feel that I'm not enough at home in the last 3 days. But if you really feel mommy is doing too much and you want me more at home, please just let me know. And I promise I will cancel everything and I'll just make sure that I will be with you. And they said, no, mommy, you are so happy and you are blooming from what you're doing, and we're happy for you. So I think it's like,
how beautiful.
It is beautiful, because for me, I'm telling you, everything that I'm doing because of my kids. They gave me the inspiration to do everything. I got married when I was so young. I was 20 years old. And to study with your kids, to work with your kids, to set up a business with your kids, to set up Gibraltar with the kids, to write a book with your kids.
It's admirable.
Not that easy.
It's admirable.
But I think if you have a good partner, as my kids, which are
Totally.
amazing, yeah,
Yes.
so you can do that. So thank you, Stephen, for your question. This is my answer.
My next question to you, Ayelet, is your most embarrassing moment.
Oh my God, Henry, you know, it was so difficult for me to think about this one, but I have one, promise, and actually
Okay.
related to Gibraltar. When I came to Gibraltar, my friend came to me and said, Ayala, this is my uncle or my cousin, one of the two. And you know, Israel, normally they just shake hands and that's it. Nice to meet you, nice to meet you, and that's it. So I just gave my hands, I shake his hand and I said, lovely to meet you. And he said, lovely to meet you too. That's it, the end of the story. And then when he left, my friends came to me and said, Ayelet, you're so rude. And I'm like, why? She said, I introduced you to my cousin, to my uncle or whatever. And that's what you're doing? And I said to her, what do you mean? And she said, no, here in Gibraltar, we give kisses.
2 kisses.
And 2 kisses. And since then, I became such a kisser all the time. I see people, I just kiss and kiss and kiss. Obviously, with COVID restriction,
Yeah,
I'm not
that
really
has
doing
changed.
it. But normally everybody knew that when, I don't know, even I start a business meeting, we start with kisses and ends up with kisses. So in that respect, I became very Janita, I have to say, because I am very warm and I'm very like to give kisses, even in
Yeah.
Israel, which they look at me like I'm a bit weirdo when I give them a kiss. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's a beautiful thing to do. And why not to do it? So I adopted.
I think it's a very
one of the manners.
Mediterranean thing.
Yeah.
It's a very
Yeah,
Mediterranean
but
thing.
in
I mean,
Israel, if you're doing business, you don't give kisses, really.
no, you shake hands.
Exactly. But if
Yeah.
you're family or good friends, obviously you hug, you kiss, definitely. But I think I changed few people in Israel regarding to the kisses, because when they see me, they always give me a kiss. So this is totally Janito thing that I
Yeah.
took on myself.
And interestingly enough, here in Morocco, it's 3 kisses. It's 1,
Wow.
2, and then on the last one, like, para rematarla, a third one. See, and as you say, COVID has changed that, the social
Totally.
distancing, we don't even shake hands. It's either the elbow or the fist.
I know.
Because
Believe me, I'm not
I'm a
even
kisser.
doing the elbow and I don't even do the fist, I have to say. I know it's sad,
Yeah.
but we have to keep it. What
We
can we do?
have Nadia from Tetuan. Thank you very much, Nadia, for joining us. Hi, Ayelet. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Can you tell us how a woman face inequality in modern world and try to make great results like you have done?
Her name again was?
Nadia.
Nadia. Lovely
Nadia
to
from
meet you,
Tetuan.
Nadia. Okay. Nadia, I will start and say that actually been visiting Tetuan. And in Tetuan, you used to have a beautiful Jewish community before many, many years ago. But then obviously everybody left, and you have 7 Jewish people in Tetuan. And I actually had the pleasure to meet one of them. That was many years ago, and I actually wrote about it, an article in the main newspaper of Israel, that I had my birthday, and my gift was to meet one of the Jewish people that left in Tetuan. So I will start with that. And if we're actually talking about equality and all this situation, I will tell you a secret again, Nadia, just between me and you. Henry even can listen. I'm actually working on my new project, and I'm actually writing now my second book. It's called The Ladies That Rock the Rock. It's about 22 ladies that actually contribute in a way to Gibraltar. And it's going to be published in International Women's Day 2022. I really, really think there is a lot of amazing ladies that actually contribute so much in a different way, different field, different subjects, but they are not getting the recognition that they need to get. And this is the reason why I'm working really, really hard, believe me, days and nights to do this project. And for me, it's really, really important. So I really, really believe in equality. And I really, really believe, and I want you to listen to that, there is no limitation, Nadia, to you to do whatever you want. Whatever you want, you can do, and it doesn't matter. And don't tell me the environment, don't tell me the people. If you really want to achieve something in your life, you have to work really, really hard. Okay? Nothing comes easily for me. And if you see this smile on my face, I promise you, it's not because my life was easy at all. If I'll tell you my whole story, you understand how many glass ceiling you need to break and how many, limitation you need to break to be successful in life. So I really want to tell you, if you want to be successful, you can do it. And if I can be for assistant to you in any way, I will be more than happy to help you out and just to explain you a bit deeper how you can do it. But first of all, you have to believe in yourself and you have to know that you need to work hard and the journey is not going to be easy. But at the end of the day, when the fruit are coming out, you will be the most happiest person on earth.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you, Ayelet. How can we buy your book? And are you working on another book right now? Well, I think you've partly answered that question. And on the subject of limitations, can I just say that one of the phrases that I find myself repeating most to a lot of people is that there are no limitations except those that you impose on yourself.
Well done, Henry. You're right. Totally. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So
going back to the question on the screen, how can people buy your book?
Okay. So if you want my signature, you can actually contact me privately. I will write my email address down there, and then you can actually contact me and can buy the book physically from my office. If you don't want my signature, you can actually buy it in the big Eroski in John Mackintosh Hall. Now they are doing a book week for local authors. They are selling as well in the John Mackintosh Hall. In the Museum of Gibraltar, it's selling as well. On Amazon online, if you want it on Amazon or eBay online, you can buy it as well. So it's available in Hebrew and in English, in hard copy or digital. Whatever you want, it's available for you. You just need to look for it.
Let's remind people that it's called Relocation, Darling Relocation.
Yes, correct.
Fantastic. Let's move on to our next question, and that is, share with us your most memorable moment to date.
Wow. Okay, if we're actually going the same, just to be related to Gibraltar, I think the day that we left Israel, it was a very dramatic day for me. I can tell you that our friends and family organizes for us 5 different farewell parties, goodbye parties.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was really, really nice. We've always been very well connected with lots of friends and families. And, each one of them, I remember, bought for us some Judaica, like Jewish stuff, like sentimental stuff that we are actually keeping until now. And I will actually keep it to the rest of my life. But I understood, I think exactly the same that I understood when I wanted to leave to London, that there is a reason why I need to leave to London. I always said to my mom, if you didn't let me to leave to London, I wouldn't meet my husband. And I always felt as well in Gibraltar that there is a reason why I need to move to Gibraltar. So I think this moment I will never forget, because I'm in love with Israel. And for me, Israel, it's my homeland. It's my place that I was born in. I admire Israel for what it became in such a short time. Israel is just 73 years old, and to see her leading in so many fields and becoming a startup nation, it's not something that I can take for granted. So I'm very, very proud of my country. But as you know, unfortunately, we suffered a lot from the Holocaust, and the land of Israel and the country actually established because of the Holocaust. So in Israel, there is attitude that you have to live in Israel. You are not allowed to go and live in another place, because you have to contribute, you have to build your country. And sometimes people that actually move in from one country or from Israel to another country, there is some people that are not really happy about that. It's, this is the Jewish land, you have to stay in the Jewish land. Why you're going to contribute to another country instead of actually staying in your
Do they see it as a sign of betrayal?
Back then, yes. Now, no. Now they understand that we're actually good ambassador, and at the end of the day, we are doing good for Israel. Because just imagine many Ayelets, exactly the same around the world. For us, it's just a great job. And, you know, Israel became a startup nation, but just because of people actually moving from Israel to another countries. Otherwise, it wouldn't even be possible, you know, to be so well known around the world without all those amazing people, amazing angels that have been helping a lot to the Israeli government and, of course, the government as well. So I really, really think that this actually, the moment that we left Israel, it was very, very difficult for me. And as you mentioned as well, Henry, for many, many years, really, I felt that I cheated on my country because I fell in love with the other country that I moved to, which is Gibraltar. When we came to Gibraltar, the Jewish community, the general community, I'm talking about the Indian community, the Muslims, the Catholic, the Christian, everybody being so amazing and so welcoming that, you know, it was such a pleasure really to start our new life here. And
Did you expect Gibraltar to embrace you in the way that they did?
not at all, really. If you ask me now, Henry, if I knew that this is actually the position that I will be 15 years after, I wouldn't even believe you. And more than that, I will actually laugh at your face. I didn't really think that actually it's possible. And this is really something for Nadia, if you still listen to us, to understand that I came to Gibraltar with no family, no friends. I didn't know nobody here. I remember one person, and I have to mention her because it was really, really special and a very nice gesture to do to us. The rabbi's wife, when she met me, when I came here to visit Gibraltar, you know, when Deloitte wanted us to come and do the interview, I remember that she met me because she heard me talking in Hebrew to my son, to my little son. And she said, wow, Hebrew, I can hear Hebrew. And she said, what, you live in here? And I said, no, we're actually planning on coming in 6 months' time to live in Gibraltar. And she said, oh, you have to give me your number. So I gave her a number. You know, it's very normal. The Israeli way, we are very open up.
Yes,
so
yes,
I
yes,
gave
yes.
her my number. And you know what? I totally forgot about her. I don't even remember her name. That's it. I gave it. The end of the story. 2 weeks before we are coming, Henry, 2 weeks before we are coming, she called me to the telephone and she said, hi, Ayelet, how are you? It's the rabbi's wife. You're supposed to come to Gibraltar in 2 weeks' time, aren't you? And I'm like, who is she? And she said, I didn't even realize it was the lady. She said, no, you don't remember. I met you in the shop. We spoke. And I said, oh my gosh. She said, don't worry. Once you land, we will prepare for you lunch. We'll help you with everything that you need. So, Henry, you tell me, as a foreigner, that come in and have such an open door, and they prepare for us lunch, took all the suitcase to our hotel, help us with everything that I needed, did babysitter for my kids when I needed to sort out all my
Wow.
documents and things like that. It's not something that you can take for granted. So I'm telling you, my experience was amazing. I can tell you for 1 year and a half, I didn't even cook for Friday night dinner. You know, we are Jewish, so on Friday night dinner, we are doing like a nice
Sabbath, yes.
dinner. We always been invited for 1 year and a half, every Friday night. It's not something that you can take for granted. So I'm really, really grateful for all the people of Gibraltar, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity. And that's why I'm really happy to bring back and to give back to this community as much as I can.
We are so blessed in so many ways in Gibraltar, but it's so refreshing when you hear it from someone like you who has experienced it from the outside, because for us, it's normal to be like that with everybody and be so welcoming and be so helpful and be so willing to go that extra mile with people that are complete strangers.
So don't take it for
And then,
granted because it is
yeah,
special.
they go away with such a pleasant experience of Gibraltar, because as you say, Gibraltar is so unique in so many ways. But I think that the hospitality of the Gibraltarian people, irrespective of their religious belief or skin color or even sexual orientation, you know, everybody in Gibraltar is just amazing in that way. It really, really is.
Totally agree with you. I'm speechless. And you know that we give a lot of relocation services to lots of people, and we brought here big companies to Gibraltar that actually contribute to the economy of Gibraltar. But you know, I always said, like, sometimes if we have a bit of a problem with some people that doesn't want to move, because you know, at the end of the day, it's very difficult to sell Gibraltar as a destination for relocation, because it's not London, it's not Berlin, it's not New York, it's a small Gibraltar. So every time it's happened and there is some problem with someone that doesn't want to move, they say, just Ayelet, the good ambassador Ayelet, she have all the experience with relocation, she has just good things to say about Gibraltar. We need Ayelet just to be on board and just to convince them. And you know, we're doing it like that without even a problem. It's very, very, very easy. And I have to say and to mention that the government and the governor as well always been very, very helpful for everything that we needed in terms of relocate some people to Gibraltar. So even on that, I'm very, very grateful.
So if you had to sell Gibraltar now in 2 minutes, how would you sell Gibraltar?
If you ask me, I will tell you it's a paradise. In one word, it's a paradise, really. I'm really, really happy, and I feel lucky and blessed to actually live here and to be more, you know, relevant to this, what's happening now within COVID. I think in terms of COVID, the Gibraltar government did an amazing, amazing job. Let's put it that
Yes.
way. Gibraltar and Israel been the first all the time, the way that they dealt with COVID. So Fabian Picardo did an amazing job, and he should be very, very proud of him and his team and all the ministers and the governors. So really, chapeau, amazing
Chapeau.
job. I
Yeah,
always say
chapeau.
that. And we've been blessed, so we can't take it for granted. We have to be very,
Yeah.
very thankful for everything that they are doing. And we have to remember that politicians really sacrifice a lot from the life, from the families, from the private life. And I know that you can't be happy with everything that they are doing, and you can't agree with everything that they are doing. But having said that, you have to appreciate what they are doing to you. So I always said
Talking
that.
about family life, how do you balance your profession and your family life?
Oh, so we spoke about it a bit just before. So I think, as I said before, really, it's to get the good vibe and the good energy for my kids. You know, it's not easy to do everything that you want, but again, it's priority. So what is important for you? So you have to do it. You know, because I'm Jewish, I'm not working on Shabbat, which is Saturday. All my clients know that, even if they send me, you know, and I'm sure you know that when people send me some WhatsApp, I always answer very, very quickly. Everybody knows that. But they know that if they send something on Shabbat, I'm not answering until the evening. And it's not the fact that I'm religious. I'm not religious, but I
But
need
you
a
respect
day.
it.
No, I need a day for my soul. I need a day for my family. I need a day just, you know, to have switch off everything.
Recharge your batteries, yes.
Totally, totally, totally.
Yep.
So it is very, very difficult to combine family lives and career, especially when you're wearing so many hats. It's not easy, and to tell you that it's easy, I will lie. But
But it's
you know,
doable.
totally doable. And you know what? Now my kids are so big. My son is 20, my second son is 16, and my daughter, she's 10. So now I'm actually having them helping me on my business, and whatever I need in terms of digital things, they're doing it for me. So it's becoming like a family business. So I'm really, really happy
Fantastic.
that we actually get into this position already. So if you can get married early and to do it early at a young age, just do it.
We have Morad from Tanja that says, Ayelet, don't you think it's time to bring Gibraltar to Morocco in order to explore closely the business opportunities and open up doors for Gibraltar businessmen and women?
So I don't know the name, but I will tell him a secret. Again, nobody here, but we
Morad.
actually, Morad,
Morad, yes, a gentleman
Morad.
called Morad.
Hi, Morad, how are you? So it's a male. Okay, so I
Yes.
don't think I have a good news for you, Morad. If you've been a female, I will tell you that in March, when I publish my book, we're actually planning of bringing a female delegation to Morocco. So 2 weeks ago, I've been in Morocco just to explore all the places that we will go, who we're going to meet with, what we're going to do. So I'm going to take a female delegation to Morocco for International Women's Day. And I can tell you and I assure you that if it will be successful, we will make sure to include men as well.
I was actually going to ask you, my last question was going to be future projects, but I think you've just answered that question, but I'm sure you have a lot of future projects in the pipeline. Would you like to share any others with us?
One I can share, just one,
Okay.
really, because we got permission, all that already, but there is a lot on the pipeline. This year is going to be crazy. Now I think almost COVID is behind us, so we are back to normality, even though we didn't even stop during COVID. We've always been very, very active via Zoom, but still. So the good news is that we're actually going to launch very, very soon a joint stamp between Gibraltar and Israel. So this is, for me, not history. It's not just historical moment, really. For me, it's to close the circle, because I started to work when I was 18 and a half or 19 at the post office. And I started from nothing, really. I was just in the till. And then I became a supplier for different managers in Tel Aviv. And now for me to do a joint stamp and to get the permission from the Chief Minister of Gibraltar, the Queen Elizabeth in England, and the government of Israel, so it's a big thing for me.
It's quite an
Personally,
achievement.
yeah. So the stamp is beautiful, really, really beautiful. And I'm really, really looking forward for this launch. And
do you have a date for it already, or is that a secret?
It's in February, one day in February, very, very soon. But I can tell you that the post office in Israel and the post office here in Gibraltar team, they did an amazing job during this journey. And I'm really, really happy that even though it was very, very difficult to do so, we didn't give up and we actually made it happen. So I'm very, very glad to share that with you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
May you always be bestowed with blessings,
Amen.
energy, love, and light
Amen.
with everything that you do. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on our cultural exchange. But like all good things come to an end, we are almost up with our hour. Final words that you'd like to share with us?
First of all, it's thank you, Henry. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, all the rest of the team. If I forgot any name, please forgive me. And thank you so much for all the audience that's been with us today. I really don't know who they are, but please feel free to share with me your thoughts. And if I can help you with anything, I will be more than happy to assist, whatever you need. If you don't mind, I'll leave my email here just before I hang up, and then people can contact me, okay?
Yes. And whilst Ayelet is writing the email, let me just share that the reason why I have this is because I am growing my Movember, which is November is the month where we promote awareness for prostate cancer in Gibraltar. Both Priscilla and I were the faces of the campaign last year, and hence why I've got some fluff around my face. And there we have Ayelet at benefitgibraltar.com, the email for anyone that would like to contact our guest this evening. Ayelet, thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure, and thank you all for having joined us yet again on this cultural exchange between Morocco and Gibraltar. Here I am live from the Casbah in Tangier, bringing our cultures closer. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe our YouTube channel. Good night. Stay safe.
Bye. Thank you.